Hello there guys, this is Professor De here, and today I'll be going through a Palicium deck profile. So lately Palicium has not that many deck profiles. This is mostly because of, well, the Palicium not being really good in general, especially with the new cards and everything. And the fact that King which was one of Palicium's best decks, is now gone because of Warphole's half ban. It's really brought Palicium to the just way down. So I'm hoping to bring back Palicium, especially with the release of Hammerhead Sharkling, and this was basically the deck that it was built for. So starting off, we have the planet Palicium. So I mean, it's just your normal set 1 planet card, no changes whatsoever. So kill 2, bring out a big creature. Really simple. And now we move on to the creatures. So starting off with Kranchon of Palicium, it is basically a Palicium staple card. I don't think I really have to explain it. It has high stats at 500 power and 400 health. Because of its ability, when it's played, it gains 80 health. And it costs 9 stars. However, you can free play it with Palicium's planet ability, so it is still pretty good. And when it is killed, you can bring back all of your 2-star or lower Palicium creatures. So this will basically allow you to fill up your board with small Palicium creatures, which isn't really good, but it can basically stall out a little bit from your but it could also allow you to free play more bigger creatures. Also, you have to remember that the Palicium ability is not once per turn, so you can actually use this with 6 creature zones. You can bring 3 really strong creatures, so it's pretty good. Next, we have 2 copies of Diabocadra. So I'm using a proxy for some of the cards because I don't have them. But yeah, so Diabocadra, question mark power and health, 7 stars, and it gains the power and health of all the 2-star and lower Palicium creatures. So it's a really nice card that can gain really high stats. You'll see how much stats it can gain. I will calculate it for you guys. But yeah, Diabocadra is basically the main card of this deck. In fact, I'll put it in the middle here. Zeture is just a placeholder. Next is Mystical Beast of the Deep. It's a staple Palicium card as well. 340 power, 310 health, which is pretty good stats. And yeah, so it has 7 stars. And we're running 2 copies of this. So it has 7 stars, and when it's killed by an attack, which is really important, you can basically bring back one of your 6-star or more kill Palicium creatures to your hand, except for Mystical Beast of the Deep. So you can't cycle Mystical Beast of the Deep. But I mean, you can cycle back Diabocadra, so that's pretty good. Additionally, it is also 7 stars, and I will explain later why that is quite important. But let's just put that to the side. And now we move on to our mini stars of the show, because they are the 2-star. They're all 2-star creatures. So starting off with Doople Drop. It's your normal staple Palicium card. Basically allows you to use Planet Palicium's ability for just 1 copy of itself. Don't need explanation there, it's just really good. Doesn't contribute much to the power and health of Diabocadra. But I mean, with 40 power and health, it could make you hit some nice numbers. Next is Bubbo. So we're running 2 copies of this. It's a 2-star for really good stats, and it adds on to Diabocadra really well. So you definitely want 2 copies of this. This will add 220 power and health. Yeah. If both of them die, if not, you just add 110. Paju Pajuru, so we're running 2 copies of it. Not great stats for a 2-star. However, it does have a orb of sort of ability. So when one of your 7-star or higher Palicium creatures is killed, you basically get to free play it, so it becomes a sort of shield and could block a few attacks. Also has 100 power, so pretty good stats to help with Diabocadra. So with this dying, it could bring it up to 200 power and 100 health. And next is Icenslice. So this is the best card, the most important 2-star that has to be in your killed cards. So Icenslice has 200 power and health, which is really big for a 2-star. And 200 power and 10 health. So not that much health, but again, we are focusing all on the power. And for 2-stars, I mean, 200 power is not going to get past anything, but you'll see more later. And more importantly is what it contributes 400 power to Diabocadra. So just having these 2 in contributes 400 power, which gains you 4 points, without counting any of the cards here. In total, you should be able to get around 800 power and health with just the 100 power cards themselves. I'm not counting Doople Drop yet, so yeah. But we also have Hammerhead Sharkling, which is kind of not really important, but I mean, it's a good card, come on. I mean, I could be biased, I was the one that designed this. But basically, Hammerhead Sharkling is 120 power, which is intentional to add more power to Diabocadra. And it has 50 health. And it's a 2-star, of course. And if this creature is killed by the planet card Palicium's ability, you can add 1 killed 2-star Palicium creature to your hand that wasn't killed this turn. So basically, it can't, you can't cycle with Hammerhead Sharkling. However, you can sort of recycle your Doople Drop, which is the most important card. So it is pretty good. Cycling Doople Drop is a really good tactic in this deck. So yeah, nothing much else to explain here, but this will add 240 power and 100 health. Next is Gobbostorrus. This isn't an important card in the deck. This is a removal card. But it has pretty good stats at 330 power and 430 health. However, it does cost 8 stars, which is really expensive. And its ability reads, once per turn, you can kill one of your other zone Palicium creatures and have this creature permanently lose 100 health to kill one zone card. So this is just removal, nothing much to explain here. Yeah, this card isn't important. Honestly, if you want to swap this out with something else, I would honestly recommend you to do it. One card that I think you could swap it out with is actually Telecon. This is because Telecon has the ability to not only come back, it also allows you to draw, and even if you don't draw into a Palicium creature, which is its ability, and you discard 2 cards, you could just discard 2 of your very weak creatures and add on to Diabocadra. So it's a win-win either way. But yeah, anyways, next card is Pelfam. Staple card, no need explanation, is a 7-star for 330 power and health, and it bounces your opponent's cards, so it's pretty good. Next card is Bernard. I think it's starting to become a staple card as well. Just stops activators, so I mean it's a pretty good card. And now we move on to the resource cards. So staple cards again. Galaxy Crash. If you don't run this, you're screwed. And next, we have a proxy card here. So this is Mystical Relic Phantasmal Spoons. Staple card as well. It basically helps you search out from the top 3 cards of your deck. But it will search out really nice cards, and putting it into kill cards pile is good. Putting it to the bottom of the deck is not, it's quite meh. But putting it to your hand, basically card draw. So really good card. However, you have to take note, you can only play 1 creature the turn that you play this card, so be really careful when you play Phantasmal Spoon. Next is Cosmic Treasure. I actually do not have any copies of this. But Cosmic Treasure basically allows you to draw 2 cards if you're behind your opponent, which you will be in Palicium, because Palicium has 0 card draw. The only draw it has is really from your discard pile, so it's not that good. Yeah, but nothing much else to say here. Cosmic Treasure, pretty normal. Double Wormhole, so I only run 1 copy. You can choose to run 2, but so far I've had success running 1. This is just a cycle back Diabocadra. Nothing much else really. It's not really meant to shuffle back anyone else other than Diabocadra. This is mostly used in the late game when you deck out and then you reshuffle back Diabocadra into the deck. Next is not actually Relentless, is Sacred Reef. So Sacred Reef has a really strong ability to double your power, your Palicium creatures with 2 or less stars, power, and health. So it's actually pretty good, especially on Icenslice. So Icenslice is 200 power, 10 health. With Sacred Reef, it's gonna become a 400 power and 20 health card, which can get past almost all the really good cards in Chaos Galaxy. And it just makes some cards even stronger, like Bubbo here will become a 220, 220, which is pretty high stats for 2-star cards. So Sacred Reef is really strong, and there is a combo in this deck, which you'll see soon. KO staple card, you're running really small creatures, so you definitely need KO to kill creatures. It doesn't need much explanation. Next is Cloud Cells. So this is the combo I was talking about. So Cloud Cells, this is the proxy. This is just another proxy. I'm using a double-sided spear here. So Cloud Cells and Sacred Reef basically can combo together. So let's say you have Diabocadra, you have all your dead creatures, and it has 800 power and health. When you attach Cloud Cells, you can change its stars to be 2 or 1, up to you. And when you play Sacred Reef, it's gonna become 1,600 power. I'm not counting the health, because the health doesn't really matter because of the number of removal in Chaos Galaxy. But this can potentially 1-turn kill your opponent, and this is only for 1 Diabocadra. I haven't even calculated for the other. And even if you don't use it on Diabocadra, use it on, let's say, Crenshawn, it's gonna become 1,000 power and 800 health. So no matter what, this combo here with Sacred Reef is really, really good. And it's one of the most important combos in this deck. It's basically a really good finisher as well. And it also means that in the early game, the moment you gain 4 points, that's enough. You can OTK your opponent later. So yeah, pretty good card. Warphole Jetpack. If you notice, we're actually running quite a few 7 stars. We were running Pelfam, Mystical Beast of the Deep, and Diabocadra. So this makes for 5 7-star cards. So Warphole Jetpack works pretty well here. Only 1 because it's half ban, pretty obvious. And now activators, obvious card is Beast of the Black Hole. It's a staple card. If you play a game, you'll know why you need it. And Nightmare Matter, I don't have a copy of this card, but it's basically removal when your creature dies, so it could open up your opponent's it could open up your opponent for a direct attack. So yeah, that's it for this video, and that's the whole Diabocadra deck. The main combo is Sacred Reef, Cloud Cells, and Diabocadra, but it does require a lot of setup. But with this deck, because you're gonna keep spamming your small creatures, you're not gonna die super easily, but you're not gonna survive really well as well. So it's slightly risky. It's not the best deck out there, but it is a good deck for Palicium. Hopefully this deck does better. Hopefully this makes Palicium do a little bit better. And yeah, that's it. That's all the cards for this deck. I don't really have a sideboard, but I think the sideboard these days should be pretty normal. With Statue Labyrinth and some other cards. It's completely up to you. I'll put the deck list in the description below in case you want to copy it and upload it onto Untap. And yeah, that's it for this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Instagram link will be down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.